Hey, it's Eric Leo 108, the sociologist, philosopher, and hip-hop artist with the Sunday update for June 23rd, 2024. I'll give the Sunday update and then I'll read the blog post for Can You Hear Me? I read the blog post last week, but it only had a paragraph. I added to it by the time I published the blog post, and I actually explained my position on global warming. We had some cosmic love we had some new cosmic loves coincidences related to the release as well. I'm currently live on Instagram on another phone. The latest release is Can You Hear Me, which is edutainment hip hop track. I wrote it to bring more awareness to global warming, talking about the effects and some solutions. I intentionally released it on the first day of summer / the summer solstice. The latest EP is the Heavy Hitters EP, which features KRS-One, Gucci Mane, and Snoop Dogg, and just dropped May 17th. The Industry album, which has more features than tracks, and the 6-track Westside Connection EP are notable releases this year. Pussy Poppin', the 8-track album, drops July 5th, and you can cop it now on Even, with 2 extra tracks, which one features Juicy J. The 13-track Mr. Congeniality album drops September 6th, and songs are inspired by women. I find inspiring. You can get it a month early on Even. You can find a short blog post about each release at ericleo.org on the new release blog. Okay, that was the Sunday update. This is the working projects and personal update. I shot another content creation vlog. I think I'll actually be able to keep this up because I actually look forward to doing it and like doing it, and I've gotten compliments and, more importantly, results from the content. No Don't Stop, Be Mine, and the America EP are uploaded and drop on or before October 18th. I wrote a couple more songs to the Tantu album, including Atheist Raps 3. I still haven't uploaded my lyrics to my recent song that have features because I can't. I'm still locked out by Music Match. No progress on the book. I still need a videographer or investor for the video side. I haven't pulled the trigger on the email marketing or ClickFunnels. I'm gonna get money to hire someone to run the email list and be a videographer. This is because I recently found Matthew Lesko, the free money guy and #1 grant expert. He gets people free money from the government. Look, I'm not proud. I need money and I can't work for it. I'm gonna take it from the government if they give it to me. I'm going to be looking for money for school, travel, and business expenses. Mr. Lesko is running a special where his office will hook you up with grant money for the next couple days for $1 and then $20 a month after that. I'm gonna sign up and I'll let you know how it goes. I hope this goes well because it'll make me reevaluate calling America a piece of shit, especially if I can get a house. But I'll probably always think America is a piece of shit until we have universal health care and a living wage. Also would be good is corporations pay the majority of taxes and billionaires pay 90% in taxes. Social programs and money for citizens so they can live and or start a business is what makes America great. I left his Instagram in the description. Apparently, Taylor won the Eric Can't Contain Himself and Thinks You're Hot card because I've been trying to not sexualize Miss Swift and I think I failed. I think I used too heavy of innuendo. So here's an update on the cosmic love between Taylor and I. For more, visit taylorswift13.com. After listening to the Tortured Poets Department for a while, it always seems to come back to 3 songs. Down Bad, I'm Gonna Get You Back, and Guilty as Sin. Maybe to a lesser extent, the Tortured Poets Department, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, The Prophecy, and even The Alchemy. It seems Down Bad is about the story about how I thought Taylor was being abducted by aliens that I talk about in my book, 108, The Story of Discovering Earth's Consciousness. I'm Gonna Get You Back is about how I was mad at her for what felt like her torturing me through controlling my eugenics while I was mentally ill, and the stress I might have put her through if she knew about that. Which Taylor, which the Tortured Poets Department and my boy would be about that experience. Then Guilty as Sin is her kind of realizing and saying, yeah, maybe I'm responsible for it in years later, in a way. The Prophecy and the Alchemy is about meeting. It's not her fault, but that's cute that I like to think that she would be nice to me. I am responding to her in I'm gonna get you back when she says, I can tell when somebody still wants me. I can tell when somebody wants me. Come clean. This goes along with our history of me getting angry with her while I was schizophrenic, me apologizing on my meds, and then exclaiming we should just be friends. Then she puts out the Tortured Poets Department with that lyric that says, I know when somebody still wants me, come clean. It's also a response to my boy because my favorite toys that I break are the ones that I use on her. Russ dropped That's My Girl the same day as the Tortured Poets Department, and No Don't Stop is a remake of Russ's song, so I blame Gaia for me sexualizing Taylor. I say this because I promoted some content I say this because I promoted some content of No Don't Stop and one person commented that I was sexualizing Taylor. So I don't want to take it down, but I will be more careful next time, and I've decided I won't promote it. That's why this week for the content creation vlog, I will be doing some content for Cosmic Love Brownies, which is about Taylor, but I haven't done content promoting it yet. Okay. The cosmic love coincidences that happened this week. So there was cosmic love that happened this week. I realized my song, Can You Hear Me? I released my song, Can You Hear Me, about global warming on the first day of summer. In the song, I bite Taylor's song, Peace, with the lyrics, would it ever change your mind if I could never bring you peace? On the same day, a story about Just Stop Oil dropped about how environmental activists were trying to spray paint Taylor's jet. I made a thread and did a live video about this, which are linked in the description. Basically, I get why Just Stop Oil is doing this. I wish they didn't do it to monuments and art. I can get behind them spray painting jets though. I just wish it wasn't Taylor's. There are oil CEOs that are much more responsible and deserving. And this would be different this would be a different story if I thought Taylor was in any real danger. Don't hurt Taylor or I will come for you. The next day, June 21st, 2024, I was on TikTok and I saw a comment about Josh Allen on Hailee Steinfeld's post. Josh Allen is a quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. I found a profile that says Apollo, but the handle is at not really Apollo. And the description says, literally Josh Allen. I'm confused considering my old artist name is Apollo and I get semantic reflections from Hailee all the time. On top of that, as I explained in the live, I love dudes named Josh so much I tweeted about it in February, and all that is linked in the description. Okay, so that was it for the working projects and personal update. We're on to the blog post for Can You Hear Me? Okay, Can You Hear Me is my 79th official release and my 121st track published. This is edutainment about global warming. I made this to bring awareness to the subject. It talks about the problems and solutions. I just got done writing the global warming album this week, which comes out early next year. The beat is by Destiny Beats. The song was produced by Ryaney of Ryaney Beats, and the cover art is made by Artwork Gang from Fiverr. This is basically my take on global warming. Can You Hear Me was intentionally released on the first day of summer in 2024. It is particularly hot in Michigan on the day I released this because there is a heat dome over where I live. If you want to know why this is happening and get information on the science of global warming, visit NASA. As they say, there is unequivocal evidence that Earth is warming at an unprecedented rate, and human activity is the principal cause. Just to give one example of how obvious how obvious it is that global warming is occurring and it is human caused, I will present 3 graphs. The first 2 are from climate.gov and are the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. Then on the blog post, I leave a graph of carbon dioxide over the last 800,000 years. And in 2023, the average was 419.3 parts per million, where the highest it's ever been before that was 300 parts per million. As you can see, the amount of carbon jumped in the last 100 years off the charts and started occurring ever since the Industrial Revolution. The next graph is ocean temperatures. The ocean basically cools the planet by absorbing carbon from the atmosphere, but the sea has been absorbing so much it's heating. We are on at least 460 days in a row of the hottest temperatures on record for the ocean. I talk about some of the effects of this heat on humans in the song. The ocean temperature is not political and should have round-the-clock coverage on the news, but instead it's true that the revolution will not be televised, and America is ignoring the coming inhabitability for humans on Earth. If you don't get this, you're either obtuse or have a vested interest in carbon-producing energy, unless it's conservatives like MAGA Republicans who are too stupid, or in other words, uneducated and propagandized, to understand most opposition comes from those that benefit financially from carbon-producing energy and push their vision for policy on the rest of society. For sure, if this continues, the earth will become uninhabitable for humans. Business as usual is a recipe for extinction. So for sure, global warming is not a hoax, but is an example of how Republicans attack reality. And anybody that denies it is an idiot, ignorant, or has vested interest in energy extraction that leads to global warming. We have all the solutions, but industry like big gas and oil are blocking and preventing policy from making necessary changes to reverse the effects of global warming. This is due to the model of profits from pollution and This is due to the model of capitalism that profits from pollution and writes it off as an externality. If you want to make a lasting change, you won't become vegan or drive electric, but organize to change energy and agriculture policy for everyone. The amount of carbon the military and billionaires put in the air on a daily basis in jet fuel is outlandish compared to the average person who uses a car. They are the ones who need to be regulated because billionaires contribute 1,000,000 times more pollution to the atmosphere than the average person. This is another reason why inequality is so harsh on the environment. And like with beef, capitalists create so-called wealth at the expense of the environment. Industry is entrenched. Take the beef and agriculture industry, for example. Beef is the leading cause of carbon to the atmosphere. This is basically due to the way we raise beef in industry farms. If we did smaller farms with rotational grazing, while they're on pasture, we could actually sequester carbon, which means put carbon back into the ground. This would also give control back to the workers/independent farmers, but that doesn't make corporations who rule America a lot of money. Climate activists don't have a problem with beef. We have a problem with the way you raise it because it's ultimately leading to our extinction. You want cows? We're all for it, but you can't do it in a way that pollutes the environment when we have alternatives that help the environment. We can have our cake and eat it too. It's just capitalism enables capitalists to take the whole cake and kill the baker that made it. For people like me who know better, as a climate activist, we know we can have beef. It's just about who we buy it from. And changing climate policy would make the change for everyone instead of you just changing the small amount of change that you think had and changing climate policy would make that change for everyone instead of you just changing, which is too small of a change to make any real effect. In capitalism, you vote with your money, and as long as consumers continue to buy from a system that forces you to contribute to global warming without any other environmentally safe options because it benefits those in power, we will continue driving headfirst into extinction. This is why climate activism is really a critique of capitalism. Capitalism gives an economic incentive to pollute the environment because we do not pay the true cost of our pollution, as I explained in my treatise about giving the environment economic representation at nouveaueconomics.com. Excuse me. As mentioned in the song, one of the ways to give people and the environment economic representation is by making business beholden to the three-tiered profit, people, planet doctrine that I talk about in the song. The problem is the bottom line in business is profit over people and the environment. But if we made it law by changing economic policy that businesses had to adhere to the three P's of profit, people, planet, they would have to consider their workers and the environment too. From inequality to global warming, the solution is economic representation and workers' rights over production, because it puts responsibility on the community being affected instead of the capitalists solely benefiting at the expense of the workers and the environment. I plan on expanding and popularizing this further in my global warming album that is already written and will release early next year. Stay tuned. And remember, if you want to make a difference, change energy and economic policy to support profit, people, planet with economic representation and support for workers' rights over production. Okay. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my family. You're awesome. I love you very much. And until next time, you take care, all right?